doing today? I hope you're all having a great day and a great start to 2022. It is January 3rd, and I'm here for my project parade. So I hope you are ready for a update on all of my projects that I'm bringing into the new year. And I'm just a caveat. So I call my projects projects. I know most other people that do floss tubes call them whips, but which is a work in progress. But one, I don't like acronyms. And two, I like my language to be self-explanatory, and so I call my projects projects. So because I don't have to explain it every time I talk about it for people that are new or whatever. So, and welcome if you are new to my channel. I'm Gerald, Gerald Stitcher, and every year around this time, typically I do it in December, but I didn't really have a chance to do this video at the end of December, so I'm doing it at the start of the year. So, and I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute today. So welcome to my channel. Welcome if you are a returning viewer or a subscriber, and if you are not a subscriber yet, I hope you click that subscribe button, the bell, if you want to get updates to all of my content that I put out on the channel. And I hope you enjoy the video today. This is a usually a crowd favorite, and I know many other content creators are putting out their parades of projects that they currently have on the go. Mine is drastically shorter than a lot of others that put out videos like this. I think I only have 7 projects that I'm bringing into 2022 to talk about today. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do mine in reverse order from whenever I started them. So I'm actually going to start from the most recent start to the oldest start. Oldest work in progress or project, so that we can look at everything that, because the ones that are older I have not really touched on recently, and the ones that are newer are more fresh in our minds. So I have everything ironed that needs to be ironed. I took everything out of Q-snaps that are bigger than the actual Q-snap that I've been working on, so that we can see the entire project. If they are in the Q-snap and you can see the entire piece that we're working on, I kept them in the Q-snap because there's no need for me to pull it out of the Q-snap. So let's go ahead and get started. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 projects to show you. I do have my spreadsheet up on my computer as well. That's why I'm filming here on my computer today, so that I can be looking back and forth on my spreadsheet to talk about the statistics, because this last year, 2021, was the first year that I actually kept track of the projects that I have been working on. So without further ado, I'm going to take a drink of my coffee. And we will go ahead and get started. So the very first project, which is the newest project that I started, was my Home Sweet Home Sal, which is a By the Bay Needle Arts stitch along that she started in November. So I'm going to go ahead and put a picture here of what it will look like when it is completed. It is, I started this in November, on November 25th, 2021. It is a month, design this release monthly. I only have done the November block so far. I'm behind on this because December I didn't do a whole lot of stitching, so I still need to complete the December block, and the January block will be coming out here on January 8th. So here is the project so far, and to date, this is on, and I need to scroll a little bit. This is on Fiberlicious Amber, 40 count linen, and it's stitched 1/2 with the called for flosses. Again, this is the this is the January block. I did start the border that I have here. I started the border first. So this is the entire width of the project right here. I did start going down. This is not the entire length of the border, but the entire width is completed. I did start the motifs that are in between the projects because I believe the December block is right here. So I will need to come over here and work on the December block whenever I pick it up the next time that I stitch this. I might do this here the next time I start stitching again, just so that I can get caught up. Or I might wait until after the January block comes out and do both the January and the December and the January block together. We'll have to wait and see what I decide to do. I'm not 100% sure on that yet. But that is where we are so far on project number 1. Again, this is the Home Sweet Home Stitch Along by the Bay Needle Arts. The second oldest project that I have that I've started was my Medieval Tapestry Sampler by Cross Stitch Row. I purchased this on Etsy, and I am stitching this on .40 count cobblestone by Fiberlicious. And this is also 1/2 on the cobblestone linen. And that is where we have gotten to so far. So I started this on October 5th, 2021, and I have 2 pages completed. So this is, the first page is right here, and it's 1 full page. Page 2, which is actually page 6 of the design, is down here, and it's just a small section. So it's one row of full pages and then 1 row of partial pages. And that is the entire height of the project, and then it's just a really long design. Again, this is the second oldest project, or the second newest, or the second youngest project that I have on the go. And it is one I really like doing. So this is stitched with DMC 400 on the cobblestone linen. I started in the upper left-hand corner. I worked down to the bottom and did the bottom page here, and then I filled in the top portion here of the first page. All right. The third oldest pattern or project that I have on the go is, and I'm just checking because I do have, so today before I started to film this, I did set up my spreadsheet for 2022. And so I have 2 projects that are out of order here. So I just wanted to make sure that I'm in order here for the next set of projects. Okay. So the next project that I have on the go is the La Foresta de Fons by Renato Perlin. That is what it looks like when it is finished. I started this on roughly my birthday, which was 6/24/2021. This is one I forgot to put on the spreadsheet this year. This is the only one I forgot to log. So I had to look back on my Etsy, and I roughly saw the most recent the first posting I had was on 625, and I knew based on that it was not on, I did not start it on 625, so I'm thinking I started it right around my birthday. So that is Renato Perelin's La Foresta de Fons. I'm stitching this using DMC. Well, that's not it. 938, which I need to update on here. So DMC 938. And this is on a 56 count linen by XJU Designs using 1 strand over 2. And there is where I am so far. So I started in the middle and I worked my way to the right for a few trees. And now I'm working my way all the way to the left. So let me fold it just a bit. It's a big piece of fabric. Because this is the only piece of fabric that I had that would hold, that would fit the entire pattern. At the time that I started this. So this is a piece of Mandarin 56 count. And so the middle is this tree right here. So I started on this tree. And then I worked my way over and did these 2 deciduous trees here. So I did these 3 trees. And then I decided that I was going to work my way all the way to the left-hand side of the pattern. So now I'm working my way across here to the other side of the pattern. And then I will go and work my way to the right-hand side. Again, this is a Mandarin 56 count by XJU Designs. 56 count using 938 DMC, 1 strand over 50 or over 2 strands of the linen. And I use a size 28 needle for the for all of, basically a size 28 needle for all of the stitching that I do. And there we go. So again, here is the whole piece of fabric for when it will be finished. I believe it takes up pretty much the entire length of the fabric. And I did put it in the middle of the fabric because I'm thinking I'm going to frame it with a good bit of fabric on top and bottom, just so it is a nice chunky piece of stitching. Because this is a beautiful piece of linen color, and I think I want to showcase the linen as well. Who knows? I'll decide whenever I finally get it done. Okay. The next design that I started was the British Isles. And that's by Heritage Crafts. And I forgot to bring over the pattern as what it will look like when it is finished. Uno moment. Okay, so the British Isles will look like this when it is done. This is the one that I thought was going to go super fast. And then as I got into it, it's like, no, it's going to take forever and a day. And it has a whole lot of back stitching in it. And it's very, very monotonous. So the British Isles. It's the entire map of the British Isles and all the place names and castles and all that good stuff. And here is where I am so far. So this is on a 20, is it a 28 or a 32? This is on a 28 count Picture This Plus Lugana. Yeah, 28 count Picture This Plus Lugana ale. So this is the first time I ever stitched with ale. This is a full yard. A full yard of Picture This Plus ale in 28 count. And I'm not even close to finishing the first page. So I started here on the entire border of the island is done. So this is the border between Scotland and England. And I'm just working on all the place names right now. And that's where we're at. It takes me like an hour just to do 3 names. So it's going to take me a long time to do this one. But I'll slowly work on it and see how far I get this year. But I started this one on, and I forgot to say, I started this one on February 13th, 2021. So there we go. The first one that I started in 2021 was my Heaven and Earth, which I also forgot to grab the picture of. And I think it's right here. Yep. So Heaven and Earth Designs, Harbor Lights by John Bradley. This is a full-size, full coverage piece by Heaven and Earth Designs. The full-size design is 25 inches wide by 16 5/8 inches high. That's on 25 count. I'm stitching mine on 28 count Lugana, 1/1. So mine will be somewhat smaller. And I started this on January 1st, 2021. And I don't think I've touched this since spring. Maybe summer? I don't remember. It's been a while. And here is where we are today. So this is on my Quantum, my Omnic frames. So this Omnic is a company in Omnic is a company in Estonia that you can buy cross-stitch frames from. And here is where we are so far. So this is the entire size of the pattern. Of course, I left a good bit of framing border here because I'm using my Quantum frame. So I think I have like 6-inch border on both sides. So it's not going to be quite this big of a piece of fabric, but it's a nice size border. I think I left 6 inches on all sides. But there is my progress so far. Not very much progress for 1 year. But that's because I've gotten distracted with other things. So I'm hoping to make some good progress on this one this year. Drastically different than my progress for Henry for 1 year. But, you know. So there we go. Heaven and Earth Designs, Harbor Lights. I'm stitching this 1/1 on 28 count Lugana with the called for colors. There's my back. Finally, I have 2 projects that I carried over from previous years that I started prior to 2021. The first one I started in 2020, and that is my Teresa Wenzler's Millennium. So this is Teresa Wenzler's Millennium. It's a kit that I purchased on eBay. It's an out-of-print kit. So I believe you can still buy the pattern online as a PDF pattern, but you can no longer get the kit. Well, you can still find the kit occasionally on eBay, but you cannot get. It's not a in-print kit. So this was the pattern that Teresa Wenzler's released for the turn of the Millennium in 2000, 1999 into 2000. And it says, with the Lord, 1 day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as 1 day. And it says 2000 up here. So I will obviously be changing the date when I complete it, probably. But that's what it looks like now. And I did stitch on this somewhat recently, but not very much. And I did iron this one because it was not in a Q-snap and it was just folded. So here is my progress so far. So I have the 2/2 in the universe section complete, and I'm currently stitching the 1/1 planets. And so I have 4 of those planets complete. I need to pull out my sewing machine and serge do a zigzag stitch around the edges. It's getting a little bad. But there is Millennium. So this was started on roughly November 12th of 2020. And that's my progress in a year and 2 months. Finally, the last project I have on the go and the one I really want to get to this year is London. And London was started June of 2017. So this year will be its 5th anniversary. So this is London by Thea Governor. And this is a kit using all the kit threads and fabrics. This is on 18 count black Aida. And I started this so June 2017. And here is my progress so far. I don't think I've stitched on this since early spring. So I do know there are some things I want to go in and fix on this. So I do want to fix the back stitch on St. Paul's here. It's pretty wonky. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but it's pretty wonky. I did long stitch instead of back stitch. So I'm going to be pulling that out whenever I get to it and fixing that all up, as well as maybe that's all I need to fix, especially right here on this cornice piece. That needs to be fixed. That's the very first piece I ever stitched on, and so it just needs to be fixed. And so my goal is really I'd like to get this done this year, but I'd like to get as much done as possible. And so this is definitely going to be a focus piece this year. And there you have it. That's what I have to show you. That is my project parade for the beginning of 2022. So we will see how far I get to this year. So those are the 7 projects that I have carrying over into 2022. You're going to ask, well, where is Red Panda? Because I didn't finish that in 2021. That was a carried over project into 2022, but I finished it today. So that was my very first finish of 2022, and I finished it this morning. And so I'm super excited that I have one finish already in the books for 2022. So I will show that on a future FlossTube update, and be on the lookout for that. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm looking forward to all the progress that I have this year in the new year. I hope you are as well, and I can't wait to see all of your progress on Instagram or wherever you post. Of course, I am on Instagram as ginger.gerald.stitcher. You can follow me there. All of my information is in the section below, and I look forward to seeing you all of your progress, as well as catching up with you in the chat section or Instagram DMs. So feel free to chat with me on the DM section there. Until I see you again, I will be posting a finishes of 2021 post. I have, I think, 21 maybe not so many, 18 finishes in 2021. So I will be sharing. My nose is itchy all of a sudden. I will be sharing a video of all of my finishes sometime here in the near future of everything I finished in 2021. I'm super excited about that, and I hope to get that up in the next week or so. So be on the lookout for that. Until then, I hope you have a great week, or until I see you again, a great time stitching, crafting, whatever you're into. And as always, don't forget to always be creative.